And today I am doing a new way of doing this. I'm not usually do voiceovers, but I was crafting with my grandchildren, so I figured this way would be better. Anyway, I'm working on the graphic 45 tag album that I'm doing for Palooza to show you how beautiful these products are. So I decided to put the clock on the cover of the book, and I was trying it several different ways. So first I did uh, black, then I did white, then I did cream, and I just wasn't sure. So I remembered I had the metallic distress crayons, and so here I'm just coloring the numbers and then dipping my finger in some water and wiping it off on my pants to just have it just be barely damp to just blend that in. And I really like how that looked, but not so much on the cream color. I just couldn't decide what color I liked best. And I had done it on black before, which I really liked. And so I just decided to go with black. So on the clock face and the outside piece, I went and that big roll of tape there, I put on the back of my cardstock before I ran it through my die cut machine. So I have a Cricut Cuttlebug and it didn't quite get all the way through on the outside piece, so I just put a shim of 2 layers of cardstock and then it worked just fine. It didn't quite get all the way through the tape backing, but that was fine too. So here it is all done, and I added just a little drop of Nuvo drops in the center to look like a brad. So here I am going to cut out all the um, decorative papers for the tag book. And so I didn't really care for these cutouts too much, so, but I really like the paper on the other side. So I'm just putting the die up on the paper to see what size piece I'll need. And then I'm gonna run it through my Cuttlebug. So there it is. The tag worked great. I didn't need a shim for it. And there you go. Perfectly layered mat. Now this one, I decided I wanted to do a page flip. So I'm just putting the cutting plate right up to the edge of one side of the tag die, and then gonna run it through, and it won't cut that last edge when you don't have the cutting plate all the way across. And so then I'm going to take it off and cut the other half. And I decided it would be easier to line it up on the back where there's a plaid pattern. So that's what I do. I just put it right next to it and line it up so that it's even on the bottom. And then again, I just put the cutting plate just before and the cutting plate just before the edge of the die so that it doesn't cut that center part of my little flip. And here it is. So fun. So now put that aside and just fold it in half, making sure that those edges are matching up. And then I have a cute little flip. So since it's an album with a ring, having that part at the top is not going to allow me to open my book. I guess I could have left it and maybe glued it and made it like a pocket, but I decided to just cut the top part off of the front. So I think I just put it in my trimmer and just cut that little piece off, and now I can flip open my book. So I'm just gonna use my bone folder to get that crease down better. And there we go. So now I have all the pieces cut out, and I'm going to ink. I think I distressed all the edges of everything with Vintage Photo. And so now I want to pop this sentiment up just a little bit on the cover. Since it's a cover, I don't want too much, so I'm using these pop-up dots. I have about a gajillion pop-up dots because Glue Dots is always a sponsor of Scrapbook Expos, so I always come away with a good supply, so it's awesome to have, and I appreciate it. So just putting a few on here and putting it down. I have it hanging out just a smidge off the cover. And so this is the next page. I kind of wanted to do something interesting on each page, so I'm just figuring out what I want to do. So I have this sheet of border strips, and I'm trying to decide if one of those would work. So I decided to cut all the border strips apart to see what would match. It was easier that way. So still wondering. It takes me a while. I decided to figure out what the heck I want to do. So here I am making a booklet, and so I think I cut this 4 by 3. So it ends up being a 2 by 3 little booklet for a little tiny photo. I really meant to cut it 4 by 6, so it would be a 4 by 3 end up, but here I think I cut a bigger one. And I just decided to make a belly band with this border strip. So I just made this cute little booklet. Now I'm going to glue the paper down the background. And just eyeball the measurement for the belly band. I think I used my paper trimmer, so I make sure that was straight. The edges. And then just glue each of the short ends down. And then that little booklet will just slip inside the belly band. So I round the corners with my old-fashioned corner rounder. There's my little grandson grabbing my glue topper. And so here I am making a bigger booklet. But I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Can't remember which one I ended up with. I thought about just gluing the cut apart on the front, having 2 booklets. While I was editing this video, I realized I take a while to make decisions, so in the end, I think I went with the littler booklet. And I was thinking you could just put a photo on the back of the cut apart. So rounding the corners again. And inking it up. Inking up the little booklet. And I just, for the inside of it, I just cut 1 piece. In the end, I wished I would have done 2 pieces because it doesn't open flat. So just figuring out with my mat how big to make it, and I think it was just under 4 by 3. Like I did like 1/8 of an inch less on each side, or maybe it was 1/4 of an inch. Nope, I did it exactly 4 by 3, I guess. And I'm gonna look up the inside. I think I inked up the paper too, but I don't remember. Sorry, I think somebody stepped on my camera stand there. Like I said, I was crafting with my grandchildren in the room, so that was a challenge. Okay, like I said, I wished I would have cut that in half and had 2 papers, because it did make it hard to open all the way. So then I just did the covers and only rounded 2 of the corners on that, for the front and the back. I guess I used the back side of that paper on the back of the booklet. Such pretty papers. Okay, so I have that one done. And I guess, what am I doing? Oh, I wanted to see about these stickers. There's a lot of like framed sentiments on this collection, and so it was kind of hard to find just a little thing because there's so many sentiments. Thought about putting it on there, but then it would be hard to fit a photo, so I decided to put it on the belly band. Just gonna glue this page down. Okay, so this one I wanted a deeper pocket. So I'm trying to decide if I can just use 2 of the border strips together to make a deeper pocket. And so I glued on just a piece of cardstock to make one whole pocket, and then I'm going to glue the border strips on top of that. So I just want to round those bottom corners and adding my strips. Which I did not do very straight, apparently, but that's okay. It's such a busy paper that it's hard to tell. Just trimming those edges off and re-rounding the corners, which was very hard. The double part of cardstock, so I had to set that down and really put some muscle into it. So now I'm just gluing the short sides and the bottom to make a pocket. So I just love these floral papers, so cute. If you like this collection, it is on sale. I noticed at Snap Click Supply, all of their Cartabella digital collections are 50% off right now. So if you're watching this when it first comes out, then you can go check it out. I don't know where it's for sale physically. It's the Cartabella R Family collections. I just think those florals are so pretty. So now I'm trying to decide what card to put in there with. And I think I finally end up with that one. Again, rounding the corners and inking the edges. And I don't remember if I actually ever cover that little booklet. I don't think I decide I want to use it, so just have the card and then gluing the backside of the first tag. So then I have this one where I decided to just do a little flip out of a flap. I had this little scrap of this paper that I really wanted to use, so just gluing that flap to the back. And then gluing that down. I thought about cutting some banner tails on there, but I think I just left it squared off. Kind of really wanted to flip up, so I'm kind of trying to train it so it'll be flat. I'm hoping that it'll flatten out as the book is closed. So just adding this cute little sentiment about family. I can't remember what it says. And then gluing the back side of the previous tag on. Okay, so for this one, I had been watching a video while I was at work, so I made a little template of how to do this. So this is an 8-inch square paper. I'm scoring it both directions at 4 inches. And then you just cut out one of the corners. I was trying to cut it so that the score line was all the way gone, so that, you know, the paper would be flatter on the cutout parts. And then you just score diagonally on these two flap parts right down the middle, and then just fold them up. And I couldn't remember how to fold them up. So there we go. And they fold up into a nice square. So I thought that would be cute to put on there. So I'll just squaring that up and flattening it out. So that would be fun. So I chose a bunch of papers and then realized I would need some magnets. So I got these from Tall Mouse. We have super strong magnets there. So just using some double-sided tape, take that magnet down, and trying to figure out how to get the other side down. I ended up using a glue dot and just flipping it over, and that way it's exactly where it needs to go. And putting some strong tape on that side as well. Make sure that those stay in there real good. So, and I cover it with the decorative paper. I would suggest putting the magnet farther in because it kind of was hard to cover right there on the edge. I was trying to remember which papers went where. So, just covering those magnets up, putting decorative paper. And I thought, you know, you could do journaling on these triangles or put little photos or whatever you'd like. So it ends up being a 4-inch square. So to do the decorative papers, I just cut 3 3/4 inch squares, and that way you could still have a little outline of the cream cardstock there. So that is that first corner. So I just covered all the squares and then did a magnet on the other side as well. And then just glued the back of it straight down to my tag decorative paper. And then glued that onto the tag base. So then those flip out like that and flip open, so you can put papers on the back too, or pictures or journaling or whatever you'd like. So I was going to move on, but then I decided I wanted some tabs to help pull those out. So I have this set of tabs and tags and things, die set. So I use this cute little round one. Some out of the cute butterfly paper. Just gonna ink those up a little. And then glue them on the corners of my little square. And I did the same thing for the other side. Sorry, struggling putting the cap on my glue. My beautiful new pin dangle that my sister Julie made for me. I think she has a tutorial on her channel. I'll leave a link for that if you're curious about how to make one of those. So this one, again, I decided to do another pocket with another border strip. I noticed I cut that a little bit crooked. So just rounding those bottom corners. And again, gluing the short side edges and the bottom. And distressing. I wanted kind of a more plain card since that background paper was so bold. So I thought that one looked nice. And then I decided to add a tag in with it. So I'm using my tag punch board from American Craft. Sorry about my head, but man, those lines are really hard to see on that punch board. And so I wanted to make sure I was putting it where I wanted. I decided I want a little deeper angle there. So I moved it up to the next line, flipped it over, and did the other side. So then punched a little hole in the middle. I thought maybe there was some alignment guides on the other side, but I couldn't see any. So decided to add a little bit of twine on here. Kind of wish I'd used something a little bit thicker, but this is all I had was this skinny stuff. I guess I could have used some ribbon, but I think it looks okay in the end. Just looping that around and trimming it off, tucking it behind that cut apart. And just gonna glue that down. Oh, every time I glue it down, I think, oh, that paper's so pretty too. I hate to not be able to see it, but it is on the other side. So that's fun about this tag album is I got to use all of the pretty papers. So I think this is the last tag I have done so far. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll leave a link below to Lolly's Etsy shop if you want to purchase the tag album and or the die set They are both on there, and it's been super fun to work with. I just love little mini albums, and I think this will just be so cute. So stay tuned for part two. I'll finish up and see you later. Bye.